Hey, it's Hot Now 37, hotnow37.com, the Hot Morning Crew, man. Early in the morning, we got my man in the building right now, Genesis and Stevie. We got Vic Mensa in the building. What happening, baby?
What's going on, bro?
What's up, man?
All well, man.
How you feeling?
Jet setting,
You had
feeling
a big
good.
coat on. I was getting ready to say, this cold weather ain't nothing to you, huh?
No, it ain't anything to me, bro. My coat's so warm, I got it covered.
Well, you came on a good day because it's like 40 degrees out there, though.
It's
But
definitely not even cold, but I did go to Chicago the other day after I bought this coat. I bought this in New York up at Dover Street. I touched down in Chicago. I didn't feel a thing.
coming up in Chicago, you got to stay warm. You can find them kind of coats.
Real talk.
Man, what's going on? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. We just got in from New York. Just jumped off with Sway. You know what I'm saying? So I came in on a red eye this morning. So I'm still kind of like catching my bearings. But, you know, I love the East Coast, and so I'm glad to be out here.
Now, catching up with somebody like Sway, legendary Sway. You know, you grew up, you heard a lot about him. When you meet cats like that, how do you feel? How does that feel?
Well, I've been rocking with Sway for a long time, man. I've been rocking with Sway, man, got to be like at least since 2014 or something like that.
I think a lot of the new generation don't understand how deep this guy is in the game.
And I
Sway
come
made
in
records
like,
before.
you know, I come up watching Sway and King Tech freestyle.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So like
Exactly.
people like my man from Chicago, MC Juice. That's one of my big brothers. He killed that back in the day. Watching Eminem on Sway and King Tech when he was doing all that. Ha 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 when he was doing all that stuff. So when I got linked up with Sway, it's like, nah, you're full blown legend, and I know the history. You know
And
what
you
I'm
know
saying?
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that one of the influences of you doing what you do? That time of hip hop?
Hell yeah, because and you know that show in particular, and also like the Stretch and Bobbito show, like all the shows where niggas used to really go and black out rapping.
Right.
Can I curse right now?
Yeah, you can curse right now.
Okay,
Come on.
yeah. All the shows where niggas used to really go out and black out with the freestyles and you know do it that way. That was a huge influence to me. That's why I always try to just really come correct in that part of the sport, because I respect that piece of the game. I feel
wanted
like
to
that's
say
something
this.
that doesn't exist the same way.
In this day and age we live in, when a lot of rappers come through, a lot of artists come through here, a lot of them, I deal with it, but I can tell if someone is homegrown or if someone knows what they're doing. You sound like you're a student of the game, like you grew up on hip-hop.
For sure.
This is nothing you just woke up one day, a year ago, and said, I can rhyme.
Yeah, I mean, and to each his own, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for however a young black man want to get money, then go chase that, get that bag. But me personally, you know, it's like I really I was really raised in this, and so I try to create and spit on a level that fits in with the pantheon. You know what I'm saying? That is informed by those that came before me, but also, you know, pushing the needle forward.
Right? In your phone right now, if I was to grab your phone, what would I find? What kind of music would I find in there?
When I listen to it's always a strange mix.
A strange collection?
Yeah, I wanted to ask something similar because, like, when you listen to your music, you can hear like the hip hop influence, but you can also hear like you have some alternative influences, kind of like some rock influences you can hear,
Main
and
thing,
some like techno
yeah.
type of vibes. So like,
I've been listening.
Who would those artists be for you?
I've been listening to Joni Mitchell, Blue.
Wow.
This amazing album by her, one of the best albums of all time. But I've been listening to that more than probably anything. I've been listening to. There's an artist from New York named Princess Nokia.
Love her. Yes.
I've been listening to a lot of her music. There's Gil Scott-Heron. There's Outkast, ATLians, and Aquemini.
He's
Lil
reading a
Durk.
playlist from his phone right now, too.
Yeah. Last Poets, Curtis Mayfield. Elton
Man, you
John.
reaching back with them last poets, man. You
Word.
reaching back.
Yo, I actually did this. My homegirl, one of her, like my homegirl, her basically like her pops is one of the dudes from the Last Poets, and so her name is Aja Monet. She's from the Bronx or Brooklyn. No, she's from Brooklyn. And so she did a poetry festival. She now lives in Miami with this. And she is a part of this organization called Dream Defenders, like an activism. They go hard down there. And so they did a poetry festival and brought me out to come do that. And the Last Poets performed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So I just started with the Last Poets again. I mean, it's like I always was into their music, and but I think I just bought the record, like, and I've been buying a lot of vinyl too. So I just bought that, and then got into the second album, This Is Madness. I be with the Watts Poets too. Them
So you're doing it. You buying records too. You're
I
buying
got
wax
so many
too.
records, bro. So many. I got countless records. I got way too many for the space that I have. Like, most of them are in my mom's basement. I've been collecting records since I was like 12, stealing them. And then buying them, whatever. You know what I mean? I was stealing them in my big, it's funny, man, I had this Timberland jacket, this like big brown Timberland winter coat, and I'd be in the record store.
That's about
just
4,
trying to
5, 12
stay
inches
warm.
right there.
You know what I'm saying? And I was getting to it, and I'd get out with them bitches in there. It turned into spring, and I think I just had like a hoodie on or a T-shirt, and my dumb still tried to put the record in there. I walked out with the record with a big ass box on my stomach. I stashed it off around the corner. I came back. They was like, "Yeah, so when you gonna bring back that record, man?" I'm like, "Right now." Please don't ban me.
How long you been doing this rap thing? How long you? Can you put a number on it?
I think I guess probably about 10 years I started recording. I started recording when I was like 14.
Was there something that happened in your life that made you say, I have a message to speak, I got a word, and people have to listen to what I have to say?
I don't think it was just one thing. You know, I always was inspired to rap about the things I saw outside. First and foremost, that's what really made me want to write and made me want to spit, was just seeing everything that happened outside in Chicago and just seeing like the stark disparity, you know what I'm saying? Because I come from like a stable 2-family household, but then was selling dope across the street,
right,
gang banging, and I would just see all these things.
And that's all you hear about that part of Chicago is the negative side of Chicago.
Mostly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think with my music, I tried, and just like the things I do in the community, I do a lot of stuff in the community. And so what I try to do is present a more human and complete vision of Chicago. Because, yeah, all that exists, the extreme violence, the gang-banging, danger, you know, drugs, all that exists, but there's also a lot more to Chicago. There's a lot of culture, there's a lot of history, there's a lot of art. There is a lot of, like, love in Chicago. And so I try to paint a picture that includes all those things, because that's just human nature. It's like you don't have the yin without the yang,
right,
you know?
Yeah.
How did you manage to do that? You lived right across the street from where they was doing that at, and you were right there. How did you manage to?
I was really just watching, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, until I got a little bit older, and then, you know, jumped off the porch and started running around. But I would just be watching, just sitting like in the kitchen or on the porch, and just see phone them like, and then they'll throw it down, and then they'll bust a move, you know. And I was like, what's to that? What they doing over there, you know? What's going on?
That's crazy right there.
And it's like a choice. Like, when you grow up in the hood, like, it's like a choice. But if you had any message for not just Chicago, anybody that grew up in the urban community, what would that message be for youth, for anybody?
For the youth?
That's deep.
Any message for the youth? Man, I would just say educate yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that particularly in the hood and in our communities, it's like the miseducation is like deep rooted, you know?
Right.
And if you take their word for it, you know what I'm saying, you'll believe the worst about yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, educate yourself for real.
Do you think it's a good idea for young kids to get into politics and to learn all about how the politicians move and to learn how the world moves in the nation?
For sure. You know, Fred Hampton said, politics is war without bloodshed. You know, and I feel like that's just honestly the truth, and that in such a time as now, to be apolitical, to be not political, is like, well, you still in the war, man. You know what I'm saying? You just might not have a say in whether or not you live or die, you know? So I think that definitely at this moment in time, it's like you want to be tapped in, you want to be in tune. Like, and I'm political. I don't have I'm not a Democrat. Clearly, I'm not a Republican,
right.
but I wouldn't consider myself a Democrat or a liberal or a progressive or any of those things, because them the same ones that, you know, was calling us super predators and putting mandatory minimums on fathers, you know, and taking whole generations out of our community, and then they be like, but we're liberal, we're progressive. Right. It's like, no, at the end of the day, y'all was owning slaves too, and
right.
That's how it's going down. I don't fuck with y'all, but definitely am political though.
Teach them kids, man. Teach them kids.
Right.
Yeah. Now you tatted up, man. You got a lot of tats, man. You get that right. Damn, how many tats you got on you, man?
I got a lot of fucking tattoos. See,
Damn.
I was locked up one time, and
you didn't get a tat in jail.
No. I was just locked up overnight. Like, I never had to sit down for real. But I was locked up, and I was leaving. You know what I'm saying? About to go bond out. I'm in the elevator with one of the dudes that worked at the station. He's like, he looked at my tattoo, my Southside tattoo. He was like, be honest, they made you get that.
Really?
I was like, you rockhead. Like, this was like, you gotta get this tattoo to be in the gang.
Gonna tie you down and do that to you.
Like, it's so weird.
Genesis is a tat. She just started doing tattoo artwork. So you
really?
You just did it.
Getting into tattooing, yeah.
Oh, dope. You don't have no tattoos though?
Not yet.
You one of those tattooists. One of the ones with no tattoos.
Like,
we got a tattoo gun at my crib.
Word?
Yeah,
so
my
just have artists like come to your crib and then like.
No, my
collab
boy.
like that?
It's like my boy that I got a clothing line I do with my homie. Like, we made these pants. We do a lot of just like custom leather and denim. It's called 93 Punks. So it's me.
That.
Word, yeah. Because you got that drip going on.
You walked in.
I need those pants.
Got that major drip happening over here. Flood alert. What you talking about? Yeah, Conrad, he be doing the stick and poke tattoos.
Oh my God, that's
so
old school.
I got one of those in like a video the other day, but then my boy bought him a tattoo gun. So now just finna start tattooing themselves. I didn't do none yet, but the homie did it. They just been tattooing like grapefruits and lemons and trying to get you know, trying to get the vibe right.
Really that taps into like your ancestors when you tattoo. I think like I look at it from a really artistic perspective, the art and the craft of tattooing. So like when you put stuff on your body, I think that like. Right. It really is a reflection of you and your views and like your interests and stuff, your hobbies.
Yeah, I believe you have a tattoo that's more important than anything else on your body. You have one tattoo that's probably the most important tattoo. Am I right?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's one that's the most important. I got a lot of them that like mean different things to me. Every tattoo that I have is about something. Like right here, I had got this tattoo on my grandmother's face because I was like, I made my grandmother, like I was doing kind of like some spiritual work and things like that, and I was trying to find my own definition for God because I've never been a religious person, you know what I'm saying? And so I decided to make it my grandmother. So I got this tattoo of her, and I still need to get the words. It was going to say, give it to Granny. You know what I mean? Whenever all my problems and my burdens, you know, give them to God and shit. In that case, that's my grandmother for me. But then I got one over here. It's like, take your medicine. Got like broken chains. I got save money. That one's important to me. I got still alive on my stomach, 93. I got a lot of. I started doing a back piece the other day, a big Japanese back piece. Oh my God, it hurt. I only made it through half the outline. That was months ago.
You say I started it, so you just started it.
That was months ago. I only made it through half the outline. I'm capping it off.
The outline is the worst
I gotta go. I feel like the shading is the worst part, and it's like my boy who was doing the tattoo. He's like this OG from England. So he's been tattooing for like 30 years. You know, way before it was what it is socially acceptable like it is today. So he on some real classic. I was like, the moment that first touched my back, I was like, holy crap. Let me go get some Hennessy from across the street.
He's
like, no, I don't want you drinking in my store. No,
Well, if you ever want to
I'm
get
like,
tatted,
oh,
you can
fo,
hit me
you
up.
trying to kill me with no anesthesia.
How
No
old were you
brown
when you
liquor.
You
got-
was not chill about it then. You can hit me up if you ever need to get tatted. I got you.
Okay.
How old
okay.
were you when you got your first tattoo?
I was 16.
16.
Yeah, I was 16. Shit.
Did your parents know
Yeah, I
about
was
it?
just gonna ask
Did
that.
your parents
but
know
did
about
your
that
parents
tattoo?
know?
Now they found out it was like I got it with my boy Sticks on the west side in somebody's apartment, and it's sick. It's one of my favorite tattoos. It's on my shoulder. It's a Black Panther, and it says "Free Huey," and so then I was with Lil E one time, and we was all standing on Hyde Park, 51st, and Lake Park, and we just saw this massive, ominous rain cloud. Do you remember this? I just remember we all standing on the corner, we smoking a blunt, and we see this crazy rain cloud coming our direction. And motherfuckers like, oh, we out of here. I just seen niggas breaking all directions, you know what I'm saying? Because we just knew it was about to get crucial.
Right, right.
So I jumped on the back of Lil E bike, but it was like not even that shit was fast enough to save us from the smoke. The rain start coming down crazy. So I'm riding on the back of bro bike, like, you know, and then on the pegs.
Oh man,
and then
remember those days?
he let me off right on Woodlawn to bend the block, and I ran home. And my shirt was all soaking, so I just took it off and came in the crib. My mom was like, "What's up?"
Right.
On your arm.
And what did
really-
you
No
say?
hiding that.
I mean, what you gonna say?
What you
It's
gonna
there
say?
now,
It's there
you know.
now.
Yeah.
It's there now. Now you talk to your man right here, like you guys been boys for a long time. It seems like that.
Yeah, I've known him for like 20 years.
20 years. How important is it to have that kind of relationship in anything in life?
Word up, you gotta stay around people that you know really really know like that. People you really been through shit with, just to keep you like, bro, just keep me grounded. You know what I'm saying? Because when you be out here in the world, it could be easy to lose like a connection to home.
Mm-hmm. Now, is he the kind of guy that will say, "That's wrong. You can't do that. Bring that back.
It
Let me
would
talk.
sound,
Come here. Let me talk."
but it
to you."
sounds like that's not it, Mo.
That's what it is.
That's not it, Mo.
Yeah. What about musically when you're making your music and everything? Is this the guy to
Hell
say,
yeah,
"No,
folks
that's
would
not
be like,
it"?
that's not it, Mo. I'll be like, damn, let me cook. I'll be like, can I at least like? I'll be like, can I at least?
With him, right?
Let me at least try. Like,
talk
finish
about
the
this-
beat or some shit.
Let's talk about this music, man. Tell me about this new music you got out there.
Yeah, so I got a tape called Hooligans EP coming out on December 14th. We got the first record out from it. It's called Dark Things. Video is super crazy, so go fuck with that. The Hooligans, the whole EP, I really wanted to do music to like represent different cornerstones of my experience. So I start with like a Black Panther quote, and I'm talking about some revolutionary shit. Then I go into like talking about like my depression and, you know, mental illness and issues. Then I go into, you know, kind of having fun, because it's just like a duality to everything, you know. So it's like, oftentimes people will think that I'm like a really, really serious person, you know, which I guess maybe sometimes I could be, but more often than not, I'm kind of like laughing through my pain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's usually how I'm coming.
You have to sometimes, man.
Yeah,
you have to laugh through
100%.
it.
It's like, so I just try to represent all those energies. I represent, like, you know, violence in the project, because that's a real part of me, and also, you know, also love and like, you know, self-worth. I try to touch on a lot of things in the EP, even though it's short, you know, but it's like 8 songs, 7 songs, and so I try to touch on just all these different cornerstones of my experience.
If you describe yourself, how would you describe yourself? Because I think a lot of people have the wrong idea about about who you are. How would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as a lover and a fighter, an enigmatic revolutionary.
That's right.
You had that ready. You had
That
that
was
ready.
eloquent.
That was really
I didn't
good.
have it ready. I just,
Very eloquent.
when you said describe yourself, the first word came to mind was enigmatic. I'm like, let me hit this shit.
Second nature.
We got to get you up here for a show, man. You got to touch down one of these stages out here, man.
Oh man, I'd love to, bro.
You know, we definitely got to make that happen.
I'd love to.
Vic Mensa on Hot 937, man. CD comes out. What's December? What? When's it come out? The EP?
December 14th.
December 14th, when it hits the streets, go get that. iTunes never closes. They open 24 hours a
Real
day.
talk.
You can get that any time of the day.
Right. It ain't like back in the day.
Vic, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, big love, man.